want to focus on the things that have made us good all year long. An intensity that they can't match. And the other thing is the ultimate disrespect is when somebody takes what's yours. And this is our game, so that makes it personal. Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3, dominate.
I need 60 minutes. 60 minutes of me. You got it. 60 minutes. No business, no mercy. Nothing but stunts on the thought bubble. You got me. We're going to ring the bell. We're going to ring that championship bell. Ding, motherfucking dog.
Ball is on Mitch Jeter's leg. Good snap, good hold, kick on its way, and the kick is good! Yes! Mitch Jeter, with 7 seconds left, gives the Irish a lead, 27-24. Notre Dame is on the precipice.
Notre Dame has won the Orange Bowl. 3rd and 16, Mahomes rolling out. Looking, firing, intercepted, picked up by Cooper DeJean, gets a block, DeJean is in, touchdown!
The Philadelphia Eagles have won Super Bowl 59. They have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs.
And now, welcome everyone to the Huddle Up Podcast.
You are looking live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, Huddle Up Podcast. We are live. It is the last day of September 30th, 2025. Glad to be back with you for another week. We hope you are doing well. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the show across all of our platforms. You can get us on YouTube, Facebook, Blue Sky, and TikTok at Huddle Up Podcast. You can get us on Instagram at Huddle Up Podcast Inc. You can get us on Twitch at Huddle Up Inc. You can also grab our merchandise over on the TeePublic store, which you'll see there some of the merchandise offerings that are available there on the screen at this time. Also, you can go ahead and just click the QR code that's covering my pretty face right there. That will get you right to the TeePublic store. If you want to get to our YouTube channel, you can do the same. Click on that QR code there on the screen at this time. As I bring in Sean, I bring in EJ. Sean, how we doing this week?
Oh, this week's doing great, man. Had obviously the big win down here in Tampa. Not quite the finish we were hoping for, but that's why you build the lead in the first place. So it's been a fun week for me here in Tampa so far. Of course, the Phillies with the week off, no pressure there. And another team from Florida, my Miami Marlins, now my best friends, to eliminate the Mets once again on the last day of the year. Go ahead and take pictures in front of your dugout. Celebrate all you want. So long, New York. So long, payroll. The money comes, the money goes. Not always well spent.
This is true.
Can't buy happiness, EJ.
This is true.
How you fellas doing?
Good. You can hit the QR code. It's in the screen now. That'll get you to our link tree. That'll get you to everything Huddle Up related. So make sure you go ahead and click that. Devin checking in with us, and he says, "Yeah, holy shit, EJ is here on time." Shocking.
Hey, listen, I got kids, bro.
Shocking stuff.
Sleep first, so hey.
EJ, how we doing this week, bud?
Shitty sports weekend for me. I mean, even when the Giants win the first game against a quality opponent, you have obviously the Florida State, Seminoles losing that trap game that I was very worried about before the Miami game this week, and then
Florida State Seminole Vesicles,
and then the Mets were in town, and they shit the bed. I said, and the worst part, and I actually did a rant on my podcast yesterday about this, a whole episode on the Mets and how the atrocity are. Even with that, they even got the help. The Brewers bench all their starters on Sunday and beat the Reds. Had the Mets done their job, they're playing today. They still couldn't get the job done. So you know what? The Mets deserve to lose. The Mets should
Mets, Nets, Jets, all rhymes, all trash.
Yeah. Well, I can't talk about Jets. I'm not a Jet fan. So, but
Mets,
you know
Nets,
what?
Jets.
I love my Mets, but fuck the Mets. They suck. I'll see you next year. That's it.
You blow it.
I just want to point out, EJ, that I think I tagged you in the response that I think it was back in July. You were very braggadocious.
That's not true.
That the Mets were on it.
No, it was not. I was, bro. That is bullshit, Jim. And you know why? Because even in May, when they're playing great baseball, I told you, and I said this on air. Thank God I have the show to reference this to. I was still worried about this team because the pitching I felt would not hold up. Like, as great as they were playing, because Soto was playing like shit, but the rest of the team's playing great. And I said, okay, this is a good start, but I don't know if this pitching can hold up. Now, I didn't think I thought this would be playoffs. The Phillies win the division, not a surprise. I had the Phillies win the division when the season started. That's not a surprise. But to melt down and miss the playoffs entirely is fucking it's horrible. They deserve to lose. They deserve to get mocked. And all people who and look, I love Gary and Ron, and best broadcast baseball team in all baseball. At the same time, to cry about what the Balls do after the game, fuck you. Okay?
They can do whatever they want.
Don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch. Take your loss. Take your medicine, okay? You should have won lead in first place.
You big man.
You should have never come down to the last day.
You big man.
The fact that it even came down to the last
baseball.
day was insane.
This is pathetic. Okay, I get losing the East, but losing to miss the playoffs entirely? Fuck out of here, bro. And then you're gonna bitch about like a little girl? Fuck out of here, bro. Next.
You big man. I'm just saying, on June 5th.
What did I say June 5th?
You had retweeted something when Pete Alonso had a huge night and the Mets were on top of the world.
What did I say?
You just posted like a polar bear.
Okay, so I can't be excited by my team, but doing good things.
No. Hold on.
Okay, there's more?
Hold on. Look, don't be mad at me because the Mets blew it. I said to you that day that, and I quote, still won't make it to the NLCS. And you got snippy with me.
What did I say?
You brought up my Orioles and the fact my Orioles are bad. I know my Orioles are bad. I never hide behind the fact my Orioles were bad. But you were all happy. June was great as a Mets fan. Look, EJ.
You know what? I remember that day now.
Yeah.
I think I didn't get laid that day. That's what
EJ, all I'm saying is
I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen.
Listen.
That's all I'm saying. You know,
here's the thing about me, Jim.
I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen.
See, even your kid told you.
Here's the thing about me, Jim. I will take my lumps. I will always take my lumps. Okay, if my team fucks up, I'm the first one to tell you how they fucked up. The Mets, they fucked up. They're an absolute atrocity. Like I said, I did an entire unfiltered episode yesterday on this, ranting on that. They're an atrocity. I want to hear about the Mets ever again until fucking at least winter meetings.
There we go.
Let's talk football.
Because for some of us, look, Sean's NFL team didn't lose this week. EJ's NFL team didn't lose this week. Well, my NFL team lost this week, but there's a team in Texas.
You won. No, I'm sorry. That's a win.
They didn't lose.
No, they didn't lose. They did not lose this week.
Agreed. Sean, would you agree that if you look at the results and how it played out, it's really a Cowboys win and Packers loss? You think about it?
Oh yeah, it's infinitely worse from the Packers standpoint.
I hear what you're saying, but no, the tie's stupid.
No, the tie is stupid. I'm saying, but who feels better about that result?
Jerry Jones.
Exactly.
He's the only excited person in the
You made my
United
point.
States.
There you go.
He's the only person excited. His comments after the game were they were insanely and now it all makes sense and you can see the picture and this is why we play all that. I'm like, you didn't win.
Jerry Jones,
it's okay to
they didn't lose, Sean.
He's the only owner in sports who can say the shit he does. And there's no repercussions for him. You know why? Because all you Cowboy fans, not saying you Jim necessarily, but all the Cowboys out there, you're still going to pay the money. You're still going to buy your season tickets.
Oh, yeah.
You're still going to buy the merch. So he's still winning. So you can get mad at Jerry all you want, but you're still putting money into the fucking guy's pocket anyway. So what?
Absolutely. I mean, it's Jerry always wins. Jerry always wins, man.
So I almost admire I almost admire how transparent he is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean,
really
Jerry's Jerry. And he will always be. But all right, let's kick it off as we do, looking back towards the last 7 days. All right, so we look back at the week that was, and what some of the best things that we saw over the last 7 days in the world of football. Now, as we get into playoff baseball, obviously if a team we enjoy does well, we can always bring that up. Or if a team like the Yankees loses, we can enjoy that as well. But
go Mariners.
I'd be fine with the Mariners. But EJ, we'll kick it off with you. What was your best of the week this past week?
This is gonna sound really fucked up, but follow me here. So the Ravens, I'm concerned about the Ravens, but I'm not concerned about the Ravens. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's even with the Lamar Jackson injury. He's probably gonna miss 2 to 3 weeks. They're saying. Look, there are concerns that are mostly internal, because even if the shoe on the first, let's say they were 3-1 still. What do we say? What did I say before the year started? And even after week 1, we lost to Buffalo. That nothing they do between now and January matters at this point.
Mm-hmm.
As long as by January they're winning playoff games and going to the Super Bowl. They are a team right now that is Super Bowl or bust. End discussion. Now, having said that, obviously you're 1-3 now. The Lamar injury, you got to. I don't know. The Houston game is still should be. I don't think it's a tough game, but they can still turn it around. The reason why I'm not concerned with the Ravens, though, big picture, at least in terms of the regular season, is because of the fact that, dude, through 4 weeks, the AFC sucks. The AFC sucks, bro.
It's rough.
So you go through the AFC. So who are your shoo-ins? You got obviously Buffalo. Casey's back. Chargers still.
No, they aren't.
Have lost. Still Chargers. Okay, but then, do you think the Steelers are going to run away to AFC North? They have upside to play with, but they're 3-1, but they're not really an impressive 3-1.
No,
the wildcard situation isn't that good. Okay,
they're not impressive at anything, EJ. If this injury causes a slip, though, if you go another 1-2, and the Steelers go 2-1, then all of a sudden it's a whole different conversation.
Right. So the thing, I think my large point is this, though, is that because of the environment around the Ravens, their margin of error is still really big. I'm at a point now where I'm looking at the AFC has things percolating 4 weeks in that we might see a 8 or 9 win team make the playoffs as a wild card. So you look at the schedule. So let's play numbers here. So they're saying he should be out 2 to 3 weeks. Next 2 games for the Ravens is the Texans this week, and then the Rams week after that. Then a bye week, and he should be back for in October against the Bears. Their schedule gets easy. So if they can at least get one more win between the next 2 weeks, and you get him back after the bye week, they play the Dolphins, the Vikings, a couple softies in there, so they have a lot of wiggle room to make up some ground. In fact, now look, even if the Steelers win the division, I can't necessarily say that they can still get a wild card, because again, outside the Broncos in the wild card situation, who scares you? Like who really scares you? The Bengals are fucked. Okay, the Browns are the Browns, obviously. Who else am I missing there in the division? As I said, the Steelers. So, I just think the wiggle room they have right now to work with, there's still time for them to get back in this thing. They can win 10 games this year, and they'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, now if all of a sudden if you lose to Houston, this Sunday is a big game for them and Riptide Rush, because you're probably going to lose to the Rams and then go into the bye week.
But even with that, I think even if they go 1-5, you get Lamar back. Unless teams start really getting it all together after the top teams in the conference, I can't count them out this yet. I just can't.
No, I don't think you can count them out, but they are.
They would have to, for your 10 wins at 1-5.
But that schedule gets very easy rest of the way, though. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
And then you still got a lot.
You still got Pittsburgh twice to make up ground there. You have easy games against the Dolphins, a couple of teams I mentioned earlier. So there's still space.
Okay, look, I mean, you have in those remaining 9 games, right? You have
go ahead.
Minnesota, which good defense. If McCarthy can get cooking, you'll have some players back off injury and suspension. You have Minnesota, you have Pittsburgh twice, you have Green Bay.
I hate to say it, but I think I'm with EJ.
Now look,
all of a sudden I look. I mean, I'm not saying that they're in a good spot. I don't think they're in as good of a spot as EJ thinks they are. But I mean, if you're just looking at that schedule and ability to knock 10 wins out, this is all contingent on.
I mean, that's assuming
they got to do their job, obviously, of course. But I'm in the space for them to make some.
That is a small window of error, though, because your losses, let's say your absolute losses are one against Pittsburgh and when you play the Packers, right? Let's just call those the losses, which you can certainly win those games. but let's call those the losses. That means you like, yes, there's some easier games out there, but EJ's also
like Pittsburgh once, New England once.
EJ's also the guy that loves to talk about divisional
optics.
Like EJ's the guy that loves to talk about divisional optics. So you play the Browns, you play the Bengals twice. One of those games, maybe Joe Burrow's back for. Maybe they make a trade for another quarterback. Who knows?
No, actually, the one of the Bengals games are without Burrow. I know for a fact because in November. Know that.
Right, then the next one is in December. So like
who knows?
I think one of the last 4, December 14th.
Let's be real, Jim. If the Bengals are fucking falling apart, like we see right now, they may not bring him back.
Right, but that's also my point is like if the Bengals happen to lose again this week, maybe they make a trade for a quarterback.
Because right now you'll see the rankings. They are one of the worst teams in football right now. I'm okay with saying that. They're fucking terrible.
They look very bad. But in the same time, they have a better record than the Ravens. So by your account, if you can go out and get a quarterback, maybe you get right back in the mix as well. But so to your best of the week is that the Ravens are not dead. That's your best of the week?
Yeah. As I said, they're not dead because of the environment.
Okay.
Again, they got to do their job.
Mm-hmm.
But there's room for them to catch ground, and based on their history, based on who they have, it's likely they may still do that. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Sean, your best of the week.
Well, I was saving what I feel should probably be the best of the week, and I hate to hand the best of the week to a divisional opponent, so I won't give it to the Giants anyway, despite the fact that EJ didn't take it.
I thought for sure he'd go homer on that.
I'll let you do it.
I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Jackson Dart and say very impressive young man.
65% completion, 2 tight
week to my plan B anyway, and I'm gonna go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I felt like the Jacksonville Jaguars. Did Trevor Lawrence have a great day? No, but did he give the ball away? Also no. And to be honest, like I said the Jags might be a surprise in our preview show. I thought the Jags were going to be very improved. I liked what they'd done on the defensive side of the ball. I liked what they were setting up for a running game. And you know what? In this game, both those things happened. Purdy's back. No excuses. Turns out plenty of excuses because they have 1,000 injuries again. But either way, injuries are not on the San Francisco side of the ball. The leading rusher at over 140 yards. He forced 5 turnovers, 2 interceptions, three lost fumbles. So when you're forcing those kind of turnovers, I don't care if you're playing a good team or a bad team. That team's going to have a hard time beating you. And I think Jacksonville kind of flexed their muscle a little bit. And I'm not – they're in a division in the AFC South where I know the Colts are my hot ticket right now. But should we see some more traditional Daniel Jones, or should we see a little bit of a slip or maybe an injury in Indianapolis, something like that? Mm-hmm. Someone's going to have to knock on the door. And, I know Houston may have woken up, but, I think Jacksonville's waking up right there with them. And I think that, that division might wind up. I mean, I think we all thought it would be competitive as like who's not going to be the worst. It could turn into a more entertaining show than we thought if these teams decide to wake up. So Jacksonville, hang your hats on it. You did great. You shut down Brock Purdy. You stopped the 49ers. They're not undefeated. And now you have the same record they do. And that's my best of the week.
Yeah, I'm not ready to say Houston waking up, beating a listless team.
It was a loose
like beating a bad team, also staring at you, Kansas City. It does not mean that you're back or waking up. We'll let.
Wait,
sometimes
bad teams in New York or bad teams in New York or bad teams in Baltimore?
Yes.
I'm not ready to call Baltimore a bad team just yet. But
sometimes, James, your
that defense is bad.
Right
that defense is playing poorly. Okay, the Chiefs' offense has not been good all year. They play a bad defense and they look pretty good. Like the Bears, the fucking Bears looked like a tremendous offense because they played the Cowboys. The Giants and Russell Wilson, who's no longer a starting quarterback, looked like a great offense against the Dallas Cowboys. Show me against a team that has a decent defense. Like Kansas City, you play Jacksonville and Detroit in the next 2 weeks. Show me something against those defenses. I'll start to believe that you might have started to right the ship a little.
Well, they are getting healthy right time, though. They're starting to get healthy. So
right. Well, sometimes your schedule hands you the get right game, and what you do
Sure.
with it is up to you. And, sometimes getting the air under your sails. You can't get the sailboat going, but you get a good gust, a gift from the gods, so to speak, and then sails go up, everything's going, and you're back to normal. And do I think the Chiefs are necessarily back to normal? No. Do I think they're a top 10 team? More on that later. But I'm going to acknowledge that they at least have some life, and that's should be a little scary for everyone else. Keep your eye on it. But I'm with James too. I don't think the optics of that game are as realistic as people, because he's right. Not only do the Ravens have a weakened defense from other years, like it hasn't been performing super admirably. But then they lost some key pieces mid-game too, not just Lamar Jackson. You lost some real key pieces on defense. Yeah, arguably your best pass rusher. There's a lot of things that changed in the middle of that game and made moving the ball even easier. So give it to the Chiefs. They still move the ball. You still got to complete the throws. You got to make the plays. But I didn't get to see Pacheco's numbers. It didn't feel like they were running the ball that well.
No, and because here's the deal. I mean,
and they can't.
So, but. Like I said, show me a little bit more. I'll start to believe it a little bit.
35 yards for Pacheco, by the way. 35. On
back to your
carries.
Jack's point, though. Think about this, dude. Like, they haven't really been – they've kind of been not really that impressive. They're not really a team that's, like, off the screen, like, oh, my God, the Jags are doing this and that. But they're literally, like, a play from being 4-0 right now. Like, they should have beaten Cincinnati. They got screwed in that game, actually.
Yeah.
So they're a play from being 4-0 right now.
Yeah. And there's really not a lot of teams who – have jumped off the screen as being great this year so far. So
Philly, but again, Philly gets the benefit of the doubt because of who they are.
Sure,
Discussion.
Jacksonville will not. So,
who they are.
Yeah. For my best of the week, I'm going to show college football a little bit of love. A fun weekend in college football. But the best thing I saw, and you can call me a hater if you want. But Dylan Thienemann's second overtime interception to give the Oregon Ducks the win over Penn State, delivering that steak of disappointment through the heart of Nittany Lion fans on a Saturday night in September against a very good Oregon team. And once again, James Franklin, Brian Kelly. I think Brian Kelly did say it best one time.
And we're sitting here again. Talking about the same things.
And for Penn State, it's more of the same. James Franklin against a top 25, top 10 opponents, failing to get the job done. The chance of Fire Franklin rained down in Happy Valley on Saturday night. So Oregon gets a big win. They move up to number 2 in the country. Penn State has more questions than answers.
Great game, though.
Oh, absolutely. A very fun game. A lot of good college football on Saturday. But anytime Penn State loses, we win.
Right. I don't think his job's be on the line because of that loss. I mean, again, you're playing a quality team there. I mean, he has a hard time winning games against good teams. But, I mean, Penn State will be there in the end. They'll be in the conversation for the playoffs. So,
they will be in the conversation. Well, here's the thing, though. Because you still have to play Ohio State. You might as well mark that as a loss. So Penn State at best is 10-2. They still have to play Indiana.
Is that in Columbus?
I believe so, but I don't think it matters either way.
Okay. So you're there. You think Ohio State is leaps miles better than Penn State no matter what?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, I don't like to give Ohio State their flowers, but
no, of course, right.
But you still, if you're Penn State, you still play Indiana as well. So
Ohio State is home against Penn State on November 1st.
Oh yeah, dead for Penn State. So yeah, but no. Here's the thing: in a capsule, I'm not saying that a loss to Oregon means James Franklin's job's in jeopardy. What the problem for James Franklin is he's now been there a decade, and you're 4-19 against top 20 opponents or whatever. That's the problem, because when your schedule has two or three top 10, top 25 opponents on it, and you lose to them regularly, and then the only time you beat ranked opponents is when you played Boise State and SMU last year, but then you lose to Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl. Like, the weight of that begins to matter. Like, here's the deal. If he's not at Penn State, because Penn State is a school that does not turn over coaches. But if you're not at Penn State, Franklin's probably fired about 4 or 5 years ago, if we're being honest about it.
Yeah.
But in this college football environment, I think the voices are going to get louder, especially if he loses to Ohio State and Indiana the rest of the way.
Yeah, certain schools do have a requirement or a quota, I guess, to meet. And I guess he's sort of met that to some degree. But then, I don't know, because like obviously Alabama's like their whole thing is like you got to have a certain level of excellence to maintain. Caleb DeBoer, not even fully 2 years there, was on a hot seat from the fucking first year. You know.
Yeah,
so,
well,
I don't know if Penn has the same exact like I don't want to say requirements, but same exact expectations, if you will. I think they're always a team that's in the conversation to make the playoff. Even when it was a 4-teamer, they may not make it every time, but now the 12-teamer. I think the 12-team format saves them. To be honest with you.
Yeah, but eventually we'll get louder. And here's the thing too about the Kalen DeBoer. The media and social media fans wanted to say he was on the hot seat. He was not on the hot seat after last year. Now, the seat certainly heated up with a loss to Florida State. But now, all of a sudden, that motherfucker has cooled down big time.
And for the record, that win actually helps, helps Florida State even more because that win looks great now. Like week 1, we were saying, "Oh, man, was like that man might not be good anymore," and then they dominated teams they shouldn't have. They should be dominating, and then a team in Georgia and beat the way they did. Yeah, so
yeah, and
it's a weird fucking year, man.
Kirby Smart has a Bama problem. That was the question last year. Does he have a Bama problem or a Saban problem? He's now lost twice to Kalen DeBoer. That man's got an Alabama problem.
The answer is yes.
But yeah, exactly. That is the answer for sure. Devin says the best thing that happened in the past week, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the old button here for Devin.
Homer.
Is that the Miami Dolphins finally won a game this year? Maybe few and far between, but got to take the wins when you can. Absolutely, Devin. Take them when you get them.
Especially now that they're best offensive player.
They play
that was rough.
Man,
they play
Carolina. See the smile on his face though, knowing full well he wasn't going to have to play the rest of the season for the Dolphins.
And that is a, but that is a.
Why was he smiling?
But that is a costly
for the Dolphins anymore.
Literally a costly injury for Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
What we know that is his last step in Miami. We know that.
For sure.
He gone.
So.
He is absolutely gone.
Career, we'll see.
All right, yeah. I mean, because with the extent of the damage that we know of, he's going to be facing probably multiple surgeries. So, it's you never want to see that happen. But all right, let's move into college football, and we only have 2 games to pick this week. So, obviously, I touched on the Penn State loss to Oregon, but really kind of decompressing from a wild weekend that was with Georgia losing to Alabama again. We saw the Tennessee almost lose to Mississippi State, a close one with Texas A&M and Auburn. Of course, we did see LSU lose to Ole Miss. Big game Brian strikes again there. LSU fans are very unhappy. Yeah, again, Brian, you said it best, my man.
And we're sitting here again. We're sitting here again talking about the same things.
But Notre Dame dismantled an entire program. Arkansas fires their coach and multiple assistant coaches this week. So from the week that was in college football, we don't have to go long form, but anything you guys besides the Penn State Oregon game, anything that you guys wanted to touch on from this past weekend?
Well, I just wanted to say, from the week before when Jim and I were, kind of talking up Illinois, and this is the year going to get Indiana, and like this should have been the college game day game, and for them, for them to come out against USC and play a complete game. Stick in there, through the good and the bad. It was kind of up and down for them, but then to come out on top of that one and kind of upend the front half of USC's schedule here, I thought that was a pretty impressive win for the University of Illinois. I mean, they had a few moments late where they could have just lied down and been like, "That's it."
Right.
Here they come. They're just better than us too. And they didn't get pushed around. They fought hard at home and, sent the Trojans back with a sad trip to California. So that was one I thought stood out to me as like kind of one of those technical upsets. I mean, 23 over 21. So nothing huge, but something that, kind of got lost in the fold with some of the bigger games happening this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Doesn't help Notre Dame in the long run, but But there's only so much help you're going to get. Well, right, and that's the thing is Notre Dame they lost the games they lost. You have 10 games in front of you. You've won 2 out of you're 2 out of 2.
Well, A&M almost screwed us too.
They sure did, but again, when I look at it, I see Notre Dame fell to 24 in the AP, and I know the AP poll and the college football playoff sometimes will be different, but the way I see it is this: Notre Dame fell to 24 when they lost to Texas A&M. You basically have 13 spots to gain over the next 10 games because you figure you have to get to number 11 because that Group of 5 school is going to get in at number
USF
12
or whoever it is going to sneak.
So
in
you have to move up 13 spots. They're 21 this week, so they've moved up 3 spots in 2 weeks. Tennessee almost loses. Georgia Tech almost loses. USC lost. That's why you moved up. You got to win your games. That's what Notre Dame can control. I know a lot of Notre Dame fans are like very upset USC lost, which feels like such a weird thing to say. But the task in front of you is win. You did that so far. Boise this weekend. Hopefully we can do it again. In the green, that's why I'm wearing it. But EJ, anything else from a wild week 5 in college football?
Yeah, nothing specific to games, obviously. Just the whole the title of the show tonight. It applies to not just the NFL, but even college football.
Yeah.
Like, there's no runaways here. Everybody's in it. Like, Notre Dame could easily get back in this thing. I don't know what the schedule is right now. I don't know what consequential games are on the schedule left, but. By the time we get to November, this picture could be a whole lot different than it is now. And I just think that this season in general has been like, okay, a team loses, okay, cool. Does that really hurt you really in the big picture? Not really. Now, if you lose 2 games, then you got a problem. But even if you lose 2 games,
right?
It seems like Notre Dame.
Depends who you lose to, how big you. I mean, Notre Dame lost to the current number 3 and number 6 teams by 4 points.
If you ask me in a nutshell, who is the best team in college football? I can't answer that question for you. I really can't. Ohio State by default because they're champs, but are they significantly better than Miami?
Yeah, Ohio State's the answer right now just because,
it is.
It's kind of like until someone beats them and
right. But
they look good.
Sean, but you agree that that's a by default answer, right? Not because it's like, this is dominant team.
I think arguments could easily be made for the University of Miami right now, the way that defense is playing.
Yeah, and the roll line. And the roll line, too.
They're not letting anybody through, and no one's stopping them from getting through. So,
no.
I mean, that's usually a pretty good formula.
Yep.
So,
I agree.
I like the Canes right now. I do.
Yeah, it's the college football world is, and again, in the transfer era, in the NIL era, I think this is going to be the norm. I really do. I think
and I love it.
It's leveling the playing field because look, I know some of it's partially in humor, some of it may be reality, but when everybody can do what the best teams in college have done for decades, and I'm not just saying the SEC, so I don't want any SEC fans to say that I'm accusing them of anything, but let's be honest. Every major college football team for a very long time has had boosters, has had people who will meet recruits at airports and make sure that they have things taken care of and meals taken care of and things like that. It's the reality of the world. Now it's just legal and there's budgets and it's kind of the Wild West. So until there's like salary caps, it feels like such a weird thing to say with college sports.
Right. They'll start regulating a bit as they let it kind of, settle down.
Yeah. But this is the new reality. And I think it makes for, you may not see that dominant team or conference anymore, but for me, I think it makes a more entertaining college football landscape. So
like on Friday night when we lost to Virginia, I had to catch myself because I at first I was like, oh shit, season's over. I go, wait, no, it's not, because if you beat Miami next week, that
you're right back. You're right back in
it because and we'll get the predictions later on. But let's say they win against Miami on Saturday in Tallahassee. Now you got wins against Alabama and Miami that look great on your resume. So
unless Bama loses to Vanderbilt, but.
It's happened before.
It has.
It's happened before, and in recent years too. In fact, so
for sure. All right. Speaking of those games, let's go to them. We start Saturday, 3:30 Eastern. Basically, if you want to watch the biggest games in college football, lock in on ABC because that's where they are this week. In fact, I should probably play the ABC.
Put a classic one.
The college football on ABC music because that's where we are at this point. We're living on ABC this weekend. We start number 16 Vanderbilt. They are 5-0. They travel to number 10 Alabama, who is 3-1, and a 10.5 point favorite. You're over under on this one, 56.5. Like I said, 3:30 Eastern time. EJ.
Man, I don't know, man. I'm just impressed with Alabama, what they've done since that Florida State loss. I'm gonna keep riding this Bama train. Give me Bama to win and to cover, and give me the under.
All right. Sean.
Yeah, I think last week, I was able to talk Alabama up as much as I could before eventually going with the incumbent and kind of doing what EJ said with Ohio State and just taking by default, I'll go with Georgia. Not going to do that anymore. I'm gonna ride right with EJ. I think this Alabama team's real good, and I think they flexed their muscles even harder this past week. Give me Alabama and to cover, and give me the
Alabama.
First of all, give me the Alabama, and then give me the over.
I think the over is the play. I feel like that's just generally the play in most college football games, big college football games. We see a lot of offense. Call me again. You can call me a hater, whatever you want. I'm not sold that Alabama's back. I'm not sold
Alabama
that Georgia was great. Georgia lost to a arguably worse Alabama team last year. Again, Kirby has a Bama problem. So I'm going to take Vanderbilt at the very least to cover 10.5. I think they actually win the game and just continue the chaos that is college football so far this year.
SEC just starts crumbling.
Let me ask you. Everyone's delight, right? Let me ask a question, Jim. Mm-hmm. What would it take for you to buy in Alabama? What would it take for you?
Probably, just another win this week, and do it. Not necessarily like overly convincingly, but here's the deal: you lost in pretty big fashion to Florida State to start the year. Sure, you bounced back big wins against UL Monroe and Wisconsin, who just stinks. Like Wisconsin, this isn't
that's been good in a while.
I say this isn't like the 1990s Barry Alvarez Wisconsin teams that's winning Big Tens. This is a bad football school all of a sudden.
Which, by the way, is Ohio State's prep game for Penn State. This is when I looked.
Okay.
Wisconsin the week before.
And then you have a close win against Georgia, and obviously a better opponent than you've played so far. But again, is it Kirby Smart has a Bama problem, and Bama's just actually not that good? So Mike did text me. Obviously, he's still not able to join us. He said his good from the week was UVA finding a way to hold off Florida State. But his hot take is the Vanderbilt money line. So he has Vanderbilt winning as well. I'm not super locked into them pulling the upset. It's my prediction, but I think they do cover the 10.5. Also, Yankees dropping game one, and that is when they
saw that.
That is when they had bases loaded with no outs, and then the Red Sox locked in and got the victory. So All right. So Red Sox up 1, Cubs up 1, and Tigers up 1. Although they got a scare in Cleveland, and Dodgers Reds are currently in the first inning.
All ESPN, right? All ESPN.
I think the Cubs Padres was ABC, actually, oddly enough.
Okay.
But the Dodgers Reds, they'll be moving on to ESPN here.
Just Disney, still Disney.
Once the coverage goes off. All right, and then the other one, obviously EJ alluded to it a couple minutes ago. Number 3, Miami. They go on the road. Miami. Thank you, D-Bob. The 4-0 Miami Hurricanes and a 4.5-point road favorite travel to Doak Campbell Stadium. Number 18, Florida State, 3-1. You're over-under on this one, 54.5, Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC. EJ.
My favorite rivalry in all of sports. Of all the sports rivalries I've been betting my entire 45 years of existence, this is my favorite one. I'm
because both teams are home teams.
No, I was raised in all those wide rights back in the day. The wide rights and all that stuff. I was invested at 10 years old, 11 years old. And I'm more mad at the loss because I wanted both these teams to be unbeaten. This game would mean even more. It's still a big game. Don't get me wrong.
But yeah, I mean, number 7 versus number 2 would have been much bigger.
No, but there's no doubt that Florida State wins against Virginia. They're in the top 5 because obviously Oregon losing and Georgia losing. So it would have been even a bigger game, the biggest game in probably 20 years. So that's where I feel more cheated by that because Florida State looked ahead a week. We could have had an even bigger game. Like I said, this rivalry used to decide the national championship picture pretty much. So, but like this is tough because I hate Miami, but they have been impressive, and where they're impressive the most, I just mentioned earlier, is in the trenches. Like offensive line, defensive line has been phenomenal. And look, if you go block for Carson Beck, he's gonna shred you. But a game like this, you got to throw away all the strategy and all that stuff. These two teams are playing, well, other than last week, playing their best they played in a while. So I'm gonna go straight homer here. Whatever. Florida State to win this game is because I want it to happen. Hope, please God, please. But the easy bet here, the best bet here is the over.
Homer.
There'll be a lot of scoring here. Give me the over in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, both teams obviously, having, I'd say overachieving years. I think Miami, I expected to be good with their overachieving, even my expectations as far as what I've seen on the field. And Florida State already beat one opponent that's better than them, I think, all around. But, he caught him early. He caught him by surprise. And now Florida State's getting their wheels going. But unfortunately for them, so is Miami. Give me the all-world defense, all-world offensive line, Miami Hurricanes. There's a hurricane coming to Tallahassee, and it is not going to slow down for 4 quarters. 4.5, I think, is I mean, I think the bet of the game, like, if it goes the way I'm thinking, is Miami with the point. Like, I think 4.5 is a very easy coverable number, especially with that defense. So give me Miami with the Miami to cover, and the over/under. I'll go with you on the over. I think there's a chance that if Miami's defense does what it can do and force some turnovers, I think they can slow that game down in the second half and make that tough. But you're right. I think the optics are take the over.
Isn't there no pun intended? Isn't there also a literal hurricane?
There's a hurricane to the east, but it's not going to affect this game.
Yeah, Tallahassee's on the panhandle, so.
Yeah, you're not even going to see much in the state.
Okay, a chance of showers, but yeah, nothing. Okay, yeah, nothing. I was like,
it's headed north.
I was like, isn't there literally a hurricane headed towards?
There is.
There
were two. They were circling each other.
Well, tis the season. Well, and of course, every weatherman in America like 2 weeks ago was like, quiet hurricane season. I'm like, well, that's probably a dumb thing to say.
You woke that shit up. That's why.
I was gonna say, that's probably a dumb thing to say. Look, there's a bit of homerism, so it's not like direct.
Marge.
With me here, like while Notre Dame has to do their job, it also helps if other people do theirs. So, and I think this Saturday in Tallahassee, I'm with Sean. When when I look at what these teams are, and even EJ, you touched on it. When you're looking at those battle points in a tight game, in a good game, the trenches is where it's won. I've seen firsthand, watching Notre Dame play the Hurricanes. They're really good in the trenches, and that's something that we have not said about Miami probably in a very long time. Any of the coaching ineptitudes that we've seen over the last couple of years so far have kind of gone away. This team looks locked in, so I'm going to take Miami to cover. I'm going to take them to win, and I will take EJ. You sound pretty convinced on the over. I'm going to take a slight over just because of that Miami defensive play, but I do think that we get there.
So a slight, huh? Roger? Slight. All right.
Slight.
Okay.
But Devin has had Alabama in the first and Miami in the second here. So that is where we leave the world of college football for the week. And now we do move right into the National Football League. And we start bye weeks this week. We have
ready.
The Falcons, the Bears, the Packers, and Steelers. So congratulations, Bears fans. They can't lose this week.
Can I just say, though, with the Bears, though?
We have 500 team for another week.
No, but I got to say something about the Bears, though.
Okay.
Caleb Williams, it looks like it's starting to come together for Caleb Williams now. Like this year, like if you watch all 16 quarters he's played this year, he's played more good quarters than bad. And I think the last couple of games, especially too, you're starting to see. Look, he's obviously not where he should have been in terms of like the expectations of the number one draft pick, generational quarterback we all thought he'd be. But he's starting to ascend now to where he's definitely a serviceable quarterback in this league. He's definitely the guy for the future of this team, and you're starting to see what we all thought. Well, I thought going coming in when he got drafted that he should have been. So you're starting to see those signs now. Like he looks like a capable quarterback finally.
Well, and I don't think it's any coincidence that when you don't have a defensive head coach like Matt Eberflus in there, and you have a great offensive mind like Ben Johnson in the room, that a talented player may finally be starting to put it together as well. But yeah,
keep in mind we also saw some typical growing pains against Minnesota and against Detroit, and then watched him kind of soar to new heights against the Dallas Cowboys and the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm not saying the Raiders are a complete slouch by any means, but we'll see coming out of the bye. It feels like their schedule this year is very up and down. So there's going to be every week or two you're going to have an opportunity for Caleb to flex his skills a little bit. But I don't know if you like them that much. Maybe they're a test for the Ravens too. We'll see.
We shall see. They got a good roster. They got a decent roster.
They do. Yeah, there's definitely talent there. But all right, let's look at the games. We have starting Thursday nights, 8:15 Eastern Time on Prime. It is the 3-1 San Francisco 49ers. They travel to SoFi to take on the 3-1 Rams, who are a 5.5-point home favorite. Your over/under is 47. Sean.
I know I gave Jacksonville a lot of props for beating the 49ers. 49ers are just slowly dismantling. Purdy's optimistic he'll play, but I guess he's still not 100% right. But the Rams are running hot. I mean, I know they lost one in Philadelphia on a blocked kick, but Matt Stafford looks fine. Like, if there was any injury concerns in the first week or two, Matt Stafford looks fully healthy to me. And he's using that new toy, Devontae Adams, a lot. And he's using Nakua a lot.
He's using Tutu Atwell, and he's using Kyron Williams, and he's using Blake Corum.
He's using them so well that you're not noticing Kyron Williams, stumbling a bit here this year.
Blake Corum looks good. There's all of a sudden a two-headed monster.
A bit of that two-headed monster is getting a little stronger. So I think they continue to roll. I think they took that Eagles game in stride and just kept on running. I don't think the 49ers challenged them. This is the first step to the Rams taking control of the West. Give me the Rams to win and cover, and over under 47. That's a pretty good number. Jesus, give me the over, I guess, just because I think the Rams are going to score enough points to push that.
Very good, EJ.
So the first couple weeks ago, I was talking about how like the Packers were the second best team in the conference and all this stuff, and now 2 weeks later, that's obviously changed now. Maybe the answer is the Rams, because the Rams have been the only team that's even given. They're literally a block field goal from being 4-0, and the only team that gave the Eagles worth of damn both in the playoffs and then so far this year. Having said that, it's weird seeing a spread like this for these two teams, because these two teams are always playing to the cup. But obviously San Fran's still banged up, and I have a hard time betting against San Francisco. Not so much them winning this game, but I think the Rams win this game. A lot of points there, but the Rams, as you said, Sean, they're playing good football right now. And Stafford, he's dealing.
Someone would have predicted this.
Stafford's dealing right now, so I'm gonna do it just because of the optics here. I'm gonna go Rams to cover, but if you're gonna bet on this game, the best bet is the over, though.
Just do it.
I don't think the best bet is the over, because
really,
Purdy out. I mean, the 49ers literally have Christian McCaffrey. Like that's literally their offense right now.
Purdy's out again?
I believe so. I think that came through.
He's banged out. He was optimistic he could play, was last I read, but it's a hand. Like, I think it's like.
I mean, but Mac Jones did a good job in his absence, though. To be fair.
Well, that should be worse news for 49ers fans that just unloaded a crap load of money on Brock Purdy, who's playing just as good as Mac Jones. No, I don't think it gets to the over at all. I think this is actually an underplay. Short week, one banged up team. The Rams had a close game against the Colts. That's a physical game. I think these teams are going to be beat up a little bit. The Rams will get it going offensively, but I do think it'll hold on that under. I don't look. The 49ers. The 49ers. I don't. Even though I had them in my top 10 last week, it's because I just felt like I couldn't really put anybody else in there. I don't think this team's very good. So I think their losses are going to continue to add up. The Rams are better. When in doubt, pick the team that's better. So I will take the Rams to win and to cover as well. Devin, are you okay, dude? You're just putting random NFL teams in the comments.
Yeah, he's just throwing. Well, he did. I mentioned Jacksonville, and he did that. And I was talking.
So maybe he's
Chicago.
Like dozing off. Look, we've all had a bet. We've all had long days.
He just comes in. He's like, "We're picking a Bears game."
Just Bears.
Bears aren't even playing.
Pick the Bears. Pick the Jags. We're not picking a Jags game, but
Jags not on the talk.
That's okay. That's all right. He doesn't know the docket. I'll forgive him on that one. But he thinks the Jags will win this week.
That Jazz game should be pretty interesting, though. Chiefs, we'll say that.
But Sunday, 1:00 on Fox, and I like to try and spread the love a little bit with some of these teams, and I think the Raiders are at an interesting point because I think they've at times looked pretty good, but they just keep finding ways to lose, and now you have a hard matchup here. But the 1-3 Raiders, they go on the road to 3-1 Indianapolis, coming off their first loss. They're a 6.5-point home favorite. Your over/under is 48. Actually, Sean, do we want to do the? I totally missed. Do we want to do the thing with the picks, the timer? I do have a timer.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to test it out, it's kind of a new thing for the segment. I feel with 2 or 3, it's not always as big of a deal, but maybe we try it out for 2 of the picks.
All right, well, let's do it. Let's try it for this.
See how it goes. Just to kind of make the picks a bit more professional and stop some of us from, so we fill the audience in a bit, to stop, say, me from stealing what EJ was going to have to say.
I love how you said that.
Right? Let's just call it me.
The Sean timer.
It's me.
You start predicting a game and you go off on a long-winded spiel. You start saying a lot of prediction and stuff. That may be all EJ had to say, because let's be honest, he usually doesn't have much.
Sean o'clock.
I don't want to steal anyone's thunder, so we just put a clock up, keep it at a minimum, and we'll see how it goes.
So we have a bell. If you hear that,
around the horn,
means your time's up.
Consider it your exit music.
But I do have a clock. I will put the clock on the board. But Sean, so Colts 6.5-point home favorite, over under is 48.
All right, Colts, the home favorite. I like the Colts right now. I think the Colts for real. I think Daniel Jones had a bit of a slip up in the last game, but I still don't think as a whole he played poorly. And I think, this is a nice game to kind of bounce back from that. I feel bad for Geno Smith out there. I don't know if Geno and Pete have just been too good of friends and just love each other too much, but I hope the Raiders can turn it around because I like when they're good, but not this week. Colts win, Colts cover, and that game's staying under.
All right, very good. All right, EJ, same thing. Colts 6.5-point home favorite, over under 48.
I gotta tell you though, like even after the loss, I told everybody like this is the game I want to see if the Colts are for real. And even in the loss against the Rams, I still feel good about this team moving forward. Like there's things I saw there. Look, they beat themselves on Sunday. They beat themselves. So, look, am I ready to call them a Super Bowl contender? No, not yet. I gotta see more.
You're saying the Rams are almost 2-2.
Say again?
Just kidding. The Rams are only a block kick from being undefeated. Now they're a Danny Jones mistake for being 2-2.
No, I'm just saying the Colts they showed some things here that are sustainable. And Daniel Jones, he didn't play that bad on Sunday. Like obviously you got picks during there, but tough environment, of course. I get it. So the Colts, look, listen. The Raiders. I bought in the Raiders after week 1. I thought, okay, that's a big win against the Patriots, on the road, and then they've fallen the cliff since then. They had a close loss to the Bears, but still. I think the Colts bounce back here at home. They're going to cover 6.5 points and give it the over.
All right,
man, did Genty come alive?
Woo! Didn't he? Oh my God! How much touchdowns is that?
All of them.
All of them. Yeah. He's still scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, he just scored another one actually.
Just now, he beat the Yankees.
And that's a win every day. For me, look, I think the Raiders, they even in defeat have looked better. That's the Pete Carroll effect. I think they're going to continue to look better. I think you draw a hard spot here. You're getting a Colts team coming off the loss. They're feeling a little bit of heat, I think, from Jacksonville behind them all of a sudden. You're coming back home. I just think this is a bad spot for the Las Vegas Raiders. So at home, I like the Colts to win. 6.5 does feel like a good number. So while I'm saying they'll do it, don't be surprised if the Raiders can cover that 6.5, make it within a touchdown. But I do think the over, if the Raiders are just going to score points, the Colts are going to have to match them. I do like this game to go over. So,
yeah, the Raiders are very Jekyll and Hyde, so anything's possible.
Very good. Devin had the Colts. So, all right, next one. We won't do the clock for this one. We'll do it for the Sunday night game then. But the 2-2 Commanders, they travel to the 3-1 Los Angeles Chargers. 2.5-point home favorite. Your over-under is 47.5, 4:25 Eastern time on Fox, Sean.
Well, I obviously don't have any injury updates from the nation's capital. So I think the Commanders are a bit of an anomaly right now. Even if we're to assume that we're going to see Terry McLaurin and we're going to see Jaden Daniels, I think there's a bit of unknown there now. I feel like 2 weeks off. Mariota have been playing fairly well. I don't know what we know of the offense. It didn't look like the offense of last year to start the year, and so I think there's a lot of mystery here. So what I'm trying to tell you is if you're betting this game, you might have a problem.
Don't.
I would just stay away from it. Just until we know what's going on with Washington's offense, how Jaden Daniels looks. Maybe he's back to the Jaden Daniels of old after a few weeks off. I just want to touch it, especially after not being real sure now what to make of the Chargers. I feel like it's a chance to kind of just don't bet it. Watch both teams. Let's get a feel going forward. Having said all that, at -2.5, essentially a pick 'em for me. I'll just go home team here. I'll take Jim's Chargers. I'll take them to cover, and I'm going to assume Daniels and McLaurin are playing. I think if the two of them are in, this game pushes over pretty easily. So I will give you that. If you want to bet this game, and those two wind up playing, go ahead and bet the over if you can get it anywhere close to this 47-point mark.
All right, I did see a stat that since 2013, Dodgers 64 postseason wins, Cincinnati 0.
How many games have they even been in?
Not many. I don't think many.
I think
I would argue they might have 0 games.
No,
they've made it to the playoffs a couple of times, but
1 or 2 years. That's it.
Didn't feel like much.
Got the big sweeps. All right, EJ, Commanders at Chargers.
Yeah, so both guys are still questionable. Although one, Jaden Daniels is trending up to play, so I would bet on him playing on Sunday. McLaurin, though, however, reading on this, it says likely trending out for this week.
You're saying getting McLaurin on my fantasy team a few weeks ago in a trade that involved DK Metcalf was probably a bad choice.
Not great, Bob.
Not great at all. And even with Daniels, the Commanders have not really looked all that great anyway, honestly. So and look, I predicted this. I said there'll be a bit of regression to the mean. They're still a good team, and I think at some point they'll catch on and they'll catch fire. Chargers weird loss last week against the Giants. And I think look, I don't bet this game, but I think the Chargers bounce back here. So I think I'll take the Chargers to cover 2.5 points. It's low enough. They're better team. But that running back, what was the last name?
Hampton?
Hampton, thank you. He was phenomenal.
Yeah, he looks really good. He looks really good.
Yeah, the Commanders defense is still really shaky. So if he
it was actually a really good weekend for the top, like the proverbial top three backs. Because I know Judkins slipped a bit with some off-the-field issues, but I think it was pretty unanimous that he was the third best running back available if all things were even.
Right.
So for Genty and Hampton and him to all have very large weeks here in this early in their careers, things are looking good. Maybe we'll see some actual running backs with actual running backs.
Well, I was gonna say, I think when you're looking at the scope of the NFL and what receivers are doing, quarterbacks are doing, I think you're starting to see a little bit of a shift back to the running back position. I don't think it's ever going to be. I don't think it's ever going to be the Barry Sanders, Emmett Smith.
It's not going to be the early '90s, no.
But it's not. It's also not going to be the Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees air it out show either. I think we're going to find a decent mix here. But
what's the lesson here? Everything is cyclical. Everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, like I said, if Hampton goes nuts again against a really weak Commanders defense, Chargers win this game, and I got the under.
Yeah. We got to remember we're picking on Tuesday, and that is the unfortunate timing of when we do the show. We don't know a ton about injuries unless they're really obvious. Given that if Daniels doesn't play, which probably doesn't seem great, and I think this game definitely sticks on the under. The Chargers defense has been pretty good overall. If Daniels plays, it might creep at the over, but again, like Sean said, maybe pick your battles of where you're grabbing those numbers at. But yeah, I think the Chargers get a bounce back here. There really is something about those West Coast teams coming east. If you look at the statistical numbers, 1 o'clock Eastern time games, like that's a 10 a.m. start for these West Coast teams, like in their body clock. So it kind of presents a weird situation. I think the Chargers bounce back again. When in doubt, pick the better team. Chargers are just that, so I'll take the Chargers to win and to cover, and I will take the under.
How about that Chargers?
Devin has the Chargers as well, and then for the Sunday night game, again, we'll give the old clock, the old timer a try. It is the 2-2 New England Patriots. They travel to the 4-0 Buffalo Bills, an 8.5-point home favorite. Your over/under is 49.5. This one, of course, Sunday, 8:20 Eastern time on NBC. Sean.
Is this the matchup with the New Jerseys
for the Bills? Yeah,
they get to wear this tonight. I think it's going to be a very visually stunning show. I think the Patriots blues look strange, but I think paired with the all whites in Buffalo, it's going to look real sharp on TV. Maybe they can coerce an early snowstorm. That'd be real fun. But anyway, I've been high on the Patriots. I've been high on Drake May. Obviously, I'm super excited when we finally get to see Travion Henderson. But for some reason, slow plotter trotter Rodney Stevenson still just getting the bulk of the carries. Despite he's not doing poorly with them, but you're not going to get anything exciting. And I think we're just going to keep having to wait on Travion Henderson. And I'm done picking them, especially against the 4-0 team. While I would love to see them knock off the Bills, I don't see the Bills getting their first loss this week. Give me Buffalo in a bit of a rout. I don't think the scoring can keep. I don't think Drake May can keep up. So at 8.5, yeah, you know what? I don't usually touch spreads that large, but give me the Bills over 8.5. Let's push that out, and of course that means that the Patriots are going to score a little bit, so that should push us to the over. So give me the Bills and the over And, I mean, I'm almost ready to lock that up. I'm not going to do it, but I feel like that's, for a spread that large, that's as good of a feeling I've ever had with an 8.5 spread.
All righty. All right, EJ, same thing. Patriots at Bills. Bills, a 8.5-point home favorite. Over-under is 49.5.
So unlike Sean, I didn't come to the year high on the Patriots. I was very, very, befuddled as to why Vegas had 8.5 wins. Like what happened here? I know Mike Vrabel's a great coach, but why 8.5 wins? And I haven't really been impressed most of the year. And then, they dominate Carolina this past Sunday. I'm like, okay, I'm seeing some things there, but are they still a good team? I'm still waiting to see that. Divisional game here, of course. There's the concern I have with Buffalo going forward, though, is that they're a really good team. They are a Super Bowl contender, no doubt about that. Josh Allen, best quarterback in football right now, no doubt about that. They just don't know how to put teams away.
It's because they don't have a defense, EJ.
Right.
They need Josh Allen to score 40 points because they can't stop anything.
And this is why I have a hard time buying the Bills to be overall picking them up in the Super Bowl. They're a really good team and they're capable of doing it, and they have the quarterback to do it. But they are still, to this day, way too Josh Allen reliant. Again, look, they win this game without a question. I'm not worried about that part. But divisional optics, I'll take the pass of the points here, and I'll take the under. But bigger picture with Buffalo, I'm still concerned about, can they put teams away? Because that Saints game on Sunday, that was a close game until the middle of the fourth quarter. That score was not indicative of how
when
close
they put it away?
Well, they put it. It's the Saints. Yeah, true. Good point. But it's the Saints. That game should have been close in the first
the worst
place.
team in football.
You know what I mean? Well, not anymore. I think the Titans had that one locked up now after this week, honestly. But yeah, I want to see Buffalo play a full 4-quarter game this week. That's what I want to see. Kind of put it all together. So, but give me for now. Give me the pass on the points, but give me the what did I say? Under.
Send the under. All right. New England has scored. They've scored under 20 twice, and they've scored over 30 twice. So
weird, right?
It's weird. I guess I should put the clock up for myself. But Buffalo, they're putting up 30 plus points a game every week. So that 49.5 is a really solid number. But because, like Sean said, Buffalo doesn't have a defense. The Patriots are still going to score points. If you touch this game, take the over. That's the play in this game. Take the over.
And you have Stephon Diggs in a semi-revenge game. So
this one feels like a pretty easy over, and it feels dirty saying it. I'm kind of with EJ here on the 8.5. That is a gigantic number for a team that does. And I've said it for at least the last 3 seasons that the Bills are a team who will look really great for 3 quarters. And there's one quarter where they can't put it away. And I think that's part of the reason against the best teams in football, they don't get the job done when it really matters. But against teams that are lesser than, they will also stay closer to them. That 41-40 game against the Ravens was flashy and fun. All of a sudden, that looks a little shaky when the Ravens are 1-3 as well. So, Bills, really good team, but I think the Patriots, with Mike Vrabel, all of that, I think, I like them to cover the 8.5. Now, if that number tightens up towards the end of the week, I'd feel a little more confident swinging towards Buffalo.
In fact, it already has, because as of an hour ago, it moved in 7 points.
Okay, it'll move. If you can still find it somewhere at 8.5, take it and run with it, because that will tighten up as well. So that is where we leave the predictions in the national.
Get that Pats money now so that they can bring the number down and get all the Bills money.
There you go. Yep. Exactly. It's literally a money game. Devin had the Bills as well in this one. But now we move on to the power rankings for the week, and I will put them on the screen. We will start in the bottom 5, EJs. Whenever you are here, we will still give you the lead first. Who are your bottom 5 this week?
All right, for my bottom 5, 28-32, 28, I have the Bengals, 29, the Panthers, 30, the Jets, 31, the Saints, and 32, the Tennessee Titans.
There you go. I do have Mike's. He has the Dolphins at 28, Browns at 29, Titans at 30, Jets at 31, and the Saints at 32. Sean?
Well, I am glad to see that my Browns at 28. I almost had Baltimore there. So it's good to see somebody jump that. I just thought that since they beat the Browns, I had to put the Browns here. But I give me the Browns, and then 29, I got the Dolphins. You can win the games now, but now you're down a player, and you still stink.
Sorry, Devin.
You've delayed a lot of the inevitable. So yeah, enjoy this one while you got it. Then I put the team they just stomped into the ground, the Jets, who I think are trending lower. I feel like EJ might be onto a little something. I think the Saints may run. Yeah, the goddamn Jets might. The Saints are going to start to rise here a little bit. I think they're building some steam. So I think you can see Titans, Jets fending things off down here at the bottom. But I got the Titans at 31, the Saints at 32.
Yeah, I have the Ravens at 28, Panthers 29, Jets at 30, Saints 31, Titans 32. Here's the funniest thing about the Jets, and I'm not saying they don't deserve to be one of the bottom five teams in the NFL. They have lost by 6 points, 2 points, the 20-point loss to the Bills, and then 2 points to the Steelers. Like they've been. I'm not going to do the EJ thing where I say they're like a couple of plays from being 3-1, but like they're 0-4, but like they feel like they're close again. They obviously have a new coach, new quarterback. There's a lot of new pieces, a lot of new moving parts. Like I think that if the management doesn't panic on the Aaron Glenn coaching regime there, I think in the long runs, I think the Jets. I'm not saying Super Bowl in the next.
Well, he's going to have to because he's not going to get help from that management. We've learned that historically,
right? But I think
management is going to do their best to screw him.
I think that locker room loves him, though. You can tell they respect him.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, you're seeing frustration from the guy because I think you saw Gardner a little frustrated yesterday because I think it's more that like he's not getting calls that other players in the league will. It's not frustration with the coaching staff. Like I think the players like him. So if they give it time, I think the Jets are become a better team. Like, because they're close. They're close to getting wins.
Well, for the first time in years, like the guys on the Jets that are pointing fingers are pointing them away from the organization.
Right.
Like they're pointing them at officials or at other teams or at like, rules.
Right.
It's
not. It's not Adam.
Not my coach or my quarterback or my owner or my paycheck, whatever. It's they all seem pretty content to be a Jet, which is strange.
Yeah, it's not Adam Gase doing the million-yard stare into the camera. It's not Aaron Rodgers hiring his buddies.
That guy existed.
Like I think that organizationally they're a lot more solid, but you got to put them there. And I put the Ravens. I put the Ravens there again. Are they actually one of the 5 worst teams in football? No, but optically, it really kind of looks crappy in Baltimore right now.
But if I walked in and was like, I just came back from the future. I came back from week 15. The Jets are still winless. Like it's not like you'd be like, that's impossible.
Right.
I'm a little surprised no one put the Bengals here though, other than me. They have shit the fucking bed.
They look bad. They look real bad. They were one of the candidates to be there. I mean, I got to put the winless teams there. The Titans are sinking, right? The truth be told, I think when you look past like necessarily the next 6 games, the next 12 games, I still like what the Titans have there. The wheels aren't moving. Like we're trying to figure it out. Calvin Ridley sucks. We're trying to figure a lot of things out.
Cam Ward, like he said, we ass.
Yeah,
he's right.
And dude, I have so much respect.
Props to Cam Ward for like coming out and just like as the young kid, the guy that's like, you know what, if I'm gonna be a leader here, I'm just gonna say what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? Like we stink. Like we are not good.
Like I probably should have had that soundbite on the board because it's a great soundbite.
Right. But the thing is, Jim, the thing is though, we kind of knew this coming to the year though. Like we knew with the Titans that the goal here was let's see how Cam Ward develops.
Yeah,
that's the number one thing.
The Seahawks 9.
I had said when the year started, like the 2 worst teams in football are going to be the Titans and the Saints, and it's playing out that way. The priority here is development. That's it. And I think bigger picture to be fine. I've been okay with Cam Ward so far. I mean, he has no help, but the little I've seen of what he's done, it's been okay. But it's a bad situation now. It will get better. It will get better. I think he's done for what he's been thrown at so far, he's done okay.
Yeah. Look, we knew the Titans were going to be there. Here's the deal. For me, I don't think the Bengals are that far off. And if you come out and get your doors blown off again this week against Detroit, and by all accounts you probably will,
probably going to happen.
You're probably going to find your way in here. The reason I put the Ravens at 28, and not the Bengals or not somebody else is, this past week felt like somebody was going to have a get right situation with two good teams that are in bad spots, and Baltimore looked bad. They're bad defensively. There's no other way to talk about that. They're bad defensively.
Well, I think we can all get behind that after that first game of the season, where everybody's like, "Look at these offenses and look at these quarterbacks." I think that scoring affair had as much to do with look at these two sieves they got to run through.
Well, yeah,
right.
The Ravens are bad defensively. They now have injuries on key spots. Not even Lamar Jackson. They have trench guys on both sides of the ball that hurt, and Lamar Jackson has a hamstring. Which, if we know anything about football players and hamstrings, they're always short-term injuries that never linger, right?
Right.
So,
question for you guys: if it starts, the trouble with the hamstring is if it starts lingering, it's hard to really call it and be like, well, now it's going to be too much. It's always then day to day or day to day or day. Yeah. It's just this long. But if it looks like it's going to be longer than 2, and let's say the Ravens go 1-1 in those games, are the Ravens a candidate to get on the horn with the Atlanta Falcons and ask for Kirk Cousins?
I would say possible.
Because I think we talked about it with the Browns or the Bengals, and we're talking about how the offensive line's not good enough. I think the Ravens might have a good enough one to keep him upright more than he's down. And they have enough weapons in the type of receivers he likes. They got some good tight ends. I feel like if I'm...
Are you also making a call to the Giants and either Jameis or Russell Wilson?
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Jameis would be fun. Get Jameis somewhere.
If anything, Russ, because with Russ,
I think Jameis should be a Cincinnati Bengal.
Also,
I think so too.
You're going to put Jameis Winston.
If he becomes a Cincinnati Bengal, everyone with Jamar Chase is going to win.
Jameis Winston in a place in a city that's famous for crabs. The story writes itself, folks.
The problem with the Bengals though is that even if he goes to Cincinnati, it's bigger than Browning. The line sucks.
But
and I see Dan's
there's a comment here. 6 starters out on D by the end of the last game. Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
Cool. Yeah, 6-ish. Yeah, it's a lot.
But that's why I have the Ravens in there. Like I said, the Bengals go out and do what we think they're probably going to end up doing this week. Then they will very likely be in the bottom 5. But let's move out of the bottom 5. Let's go to the top 10. EJ, who is your top 10 this week?
All right, top 10 for me, 10-1. Number 10, the Jaguars. Number 9, the Colts. 8, the Packers. 7, the Chiefs are back. 6, the Buccaneers. 5, Chargers. 4, Rams. 3, Bills. 2, Lions. And number 1, the Eagles.
All right, we'll talk about them then. Mike has Steelers 10, Seahawks 9, Rams 8, Colts 7, Packers 6, Bucks 5. Chargers 4, Lions 3, Eagles 2, and Bills at number 1. Sean.
Screw you, Mike.
Hold on, I gotta. Where's the?
No respect for the champs.
There it is. Here we go.
Hey, fuck you, buddy.
Yeah, what he said. I thought he had the Eagles ahead of. I don't even remember what he had last.
He had the Bills at 1 last week. To be fair.
All right. Guess beating an undefeated.
Eking out a win against the.
I guess winning against an undefeated team and beating the worst team in football are pretty much the same thing. All right, anyway.
Go ahead.
Anyway, I stuck the Jaguars in here too. I really hate that EJ did that because that means I'm wrong.
Hey, fuck you, buddy.
No, I like where they. Like I said, I had them as my win of the week. May as well throw them in here. I have the Steelers here reluctantly. I think that they're one of the most sheepish 3-1s that I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Looks great at times, but big plays by Metcalf or long chunk gains by Kenny Gainwell, which by the way, good for Kenny Gainwell getting some plays.
Good on me for starting him in my fantasy league this week.
Super Bowl champion Kenny Gainwell.
That's right.
Yeah, and then I got my Chargers in here. I feel like everything from like 9 to 4. I really don't know what order I wanted to put them in. So any of these could have been in any order. I secretly like the Colts more than 6, but that is what it is. So I got the Chargers at 8. I got the Seahawks at 7, who I love right now. Absolutely love everything that's going on in Seattle. We got the Colts at 6. I got the Buccaneers hanging in at 5 after a close loss. Rams hanging in at 4. Then I have the Lions, who are just sitting there waiting to get to 2 or 1. All they need is someone to lose, and they're going to jump them. The Lions are red hot. They're going to stay hot. Then I got the Bills and the Eagles, of course, are 2 unbeatens up at the top.
The Seahawks
Super Bowl champs. Jalen Hurts hasn't lost a game in like 370 days that he's played the whole way through. So let's just keep betting on Jalen. As a number 1, why not? Just keep doing it.
Bro, not one completed pass in the second half on Sunday.
Yeah, but he only threw 8, which, by the way, is a terror. If you're only throwing 8 passes through the course of 2 quarters, like, you're not going to gain any kind of rhythm.
No.
And A.J. Brown's going to get pissed off. And, like, they got to fucking figure it out, man. Like,
he's a whiny bitch, bro. I'm sorry. He's a whiny bitch. I'm sorry.
I'll give it to him, though. He's like a subtle whiny bitch. Like, he's just kind of like, fine, I'll just shut down then. You don't need – he's like, just let me know when it's my turn. I don't feel like he plays.
I'd as a AJ Brown fantasy owner, I'd like to know when it's his turn.
I have him in the league too. Yeah, I finally have him on my team, and he's just shitting himself. I feel like I should just trade him so that he lights on fire. I feel like that's what I need to do.
Yes, please.
I finally have Saquon. I finally have AJ Brown.
Please trade him so when I keep him, it works out for me.
It's just I gotta figure out.
I would appreciate that.
Unload all the Eagles, but they're gonna be fine. They're gonna be just fine.
All right, my top 10. I also snuck the Jags in at 10. Seahawks 9. Bucks fell to 8. Colts 7. Packers 6. Rams 5. My Chargers at 4. Bills at 3. Lions 2, and the Eagles are at 1. So anybody want to talk about
Chargers?
Anything specifically first?
I'd like to talk about the fact that you 3 still have the Green Bay Packers in your top 10. And as far as I'm concerned, they are hot garbage.
I will defend one thing about the Packers. To me, they're there because of the bigger picture. Okay? I do think
they're there because I always believe in them.
Right. But look, they're like garbage for 2 weeks. You're right. One question. Lose to Cleveland and you tie the fucking Cowboys.
I don't think Jordan Love looks good. I mean, the offense looked good at times in the last game, but against Dallas, everyone's going to. Bryce Young will light the world on fire against Dallas.
They lost because their defense was shit. Not because of your offense. The offense was fine on Sunday. Their defense was shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, let's have a little bit of respect for what the Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott absolutely
I will say
dealing so far this year.
Well, I think I texted you guys or I messaged you guys during the game, and I said I was learning 3 things, and one of those was that George Pickens might actually be as good as he thinks he is. He's getting a chance to be the number 1 here, and he's getting the chance to do it with a quarterback better than he saw in his whole career.
Right.
And he's using it.
Sean, no one ever questioned his talent. No one ever, bro. We sat on his panels for the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, it's the attitude that was the problem.
It's the attitude, bro.
Well, he's not going to have that attitude as long as he's the number 1 and Dak keeps feeding him gems.
And he wants to get paid. He's due a contract next year, so he better shut the fuck up and play well in Dallas.
Well, and he needs to shut up now because that CD injury is the best thing that could have happened to him if he was.
Damn right it is from. Yeah, absolutely.
Because he's going to be the highlight reel.
And look, EJ, you've seen me do it on this show more than Sean has. I've been as critical about Dak Prescott as anybody for not living up to a contract number, for regularly failing in big spots. In a year where the Cowboys offense has to be good if you want any chance of winning any game, take away the Bears week. I don't know what happened that week, but Dak Prescott has been brilliant over the first month of this season. He has looked every bit of that $60 million contract. And here's the deal. The Dallas Cowboys are sitting at 1-2-1. Their offense, by the numbers, number 1 in the league. Their defense.
I don't know that I'm sold on Javonte Williams yet. I feel like I'm.
He looks good. I'm not. I mean, he's
decent. Look, he's decent.
But their defense, by the numbers, 32nd in the league. So it's brutal.
Jim, on my podcast this week, I said on my podcast this week that if it wasn't for their mid win-loss record, Dak is in the MVP conversation.
Well, and I mean, obviously the schedule doesn't get easier for Dallas, but if they're in any sort of a playoff hunt, if they make the playoffs, and Dak obviously would, in that scenario, probably have to stay healthy, I think there'd be an argument dragging that defense to the postseason might make you the MVP. But
listen, as long as you guys win 9 games this year, and I get $100 from my buddy Mario.
BJ, you want to talk about the Chiefs at 7?
Another home run? Fucking hey, dude.
No, the Chiefs at 7 is not a home run.
Yeah, that is not. Yeah,
no,
that is
no. Back to back, the Dodgers game.
Yeah, I know. Dodgers are just teeing off right now.
Yeah.
But okay,
sorry,
you didn't have them ranked last week
at all.
The Chiefs.
Yeah.
You did have the Ravens at 7.
Yeah.
But man, here's the deal. If you would have put them at 10.
That was my big
if you would have put,
I think I probably have the Chiefs somewhere north of 15.
Yeah.
Like I feel like at 2-2 and sitting there with a little bit of hope, if you'd have been like, if you just said it, just had a whim, be like, hey, watch out for the Chiefs. I got them sitting at number 11. I'd have been like, okay, that's fine. 7 feels, now given they're right above a team that I feel like doesn't belong there.
Yeah,
so,
and you know me, I'm the
your
Chiefs homer
7-8
of
is
this panel.
trash.
I'm the big Kelsey Swift homer of this panel. I get it. To me, it was 2 things. It was not just the fact they beat Baltimore; it was the way to beat Baltimore. That style points played a large part in that. And let's be real,
take out all their starters.
They are getting guys back in the next couple weeks. They're getting Rice is back next 2 weeks. They got the other kid. Did he play this week? The other one.
Xavier,
the receiver. No, the other receiver.
Rasheed Rice.
No, not Rasheed Rice. The other one.
Xavier Worthy. He did not
Worthy.
play.
Yeah, he did not play. But okay, he's back soon. So
but we had a Hollywood Brown sighting. We did have that.
Right. And look, the Chiefs, when they still had Patrick Mahomes, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't take this team out. And again, the AFC, we said earlier on this podcast, the AFC is dreadful. So just like that,
and that's why I had them on.
The Chiefs are back in the conversation again.
That's why I had them on watch. But being in the conversation and being the 7th best team in football are 2 very different things.
I would probably take KC over Green Bay, the Colts, and Jaguars right now head-to-head right now. They played this week. Well, Jaguars will find on Monday night. Play Jaguars, but I think they're better than those teams right now currently.
Dan says, "Are they getting the refs back?" Well, they never left.
Yeah, exactly.
But man, I just
they're just in hiding.
For me, if you would have put them at 10, I wouldn't even have flinched at it.
They have to start executing plays to get those calls.
But
they haven't been doing that yet.
Jim.
But beating 2 bad teams does not make you the 7th best team in football.
I mean, that bad team beat your team that's number 4. So I mean, again, we're playing that game,
Okay,
we're not doing college football math in the NFL. Stop.
I understand though, but I mean, we'll apply that same logic. Look,
right, but that bad team that beat the Chargers, that was also a West Coast team playing at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Which, if you look historically, I think they have 40% winning percentage over the last 20 years. That's also a new.
Jim. They're playing the fucking Giants.
That's
what
also.
are you doing here?
But no, here's the deal though.
The Chargers played a different Giants team than the Chiefs did.
Yeah, if we're playing that game, the Chiefs played the hapless, crusty Russell Wilson Giants. The Chargers were at least playing a guy you had 0 tape on, a guy who's moving the ball differently, who's doing things differently. You have Scatterbo getting.
Say I like.
Hold that thought. My wife's calling me. Go ahead. All right, back.
More
talking. My wife's calling me.
But more acclimated into that offense. I love how he texts his wife and tells her, "Please call me so I don't have to defend my bad takes on this show." Again, if it was just at number 10, I would have no problem with it. Dan chimes in here. More toilets than touchdowns, Russell Wilson. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, Sean, I don't. And again, I think you put them there reluctantly, the Steelers at 9.
I don't like it.
I maybe even thought about them at 10, but the fact they tried to give that.
I had them there because it's like, if I have the Ravens chiming in at 27, and I have the Browns at 28, and I know the Bengals aren't going to do anything unless they trade for a quarterback. I'm like, I may as well get them on my top 10 list now because they're going to win the North if that all happens.
Sure.
So I got to stop. I want them to blow it. I predict them to have
they
a
will.
record, so I hope they blow it.
And here's the thing: even if they don't do it in the regular,
Aaron Rodgers might break, and then that's fine.
Well, and here's the thing: even if they don't do it in the regular season, because if the Ravens are as bad as they look, and the Browns are the Browns, and the Bengals are just going to stink, the Steelers may win that division by default. But then you have to go into a postseason against teams that actually have a pulse. And I just don't see Aaron Rodgers having the gas to get through 17 games plus a postseason.
Man, that Chiefs-Jaguars game's a Monday night game. That's fun.
Probably more fun than this past week's Monday night games, but
in the Florida Heat.
In the Florida Heat, but yeah, looking at Mike stayed consistent with his teams on the top.
In there, I think his Rams are a little low for me. I just, he's not here to defend himself. But
now I will say that he didn't have the Rams in his top 10 last week. So,
oh, that's right, because I remember questioning
you beat the number 5 team. You jump up in, so you move up a minimum of 3 or 4 spots. That gets you in the conversation.
I'm just trying to figure out who EJ has out for the Chiefs. Is it the Seahawks? He doesn't have the Seahawks.
Doesn't have the Seahawks in. Yeah,
I think the Chiefs are playing better football.
Yeah, I don't. That I would not agree with. That I would not agree with.
I mean, I wanted the Seahawks higher on my list than I have them. Like, I wanted them somewhere around 5 is where I wanted them. But I felt like somehow the Buccaneers are still, like, they haven't been, they've been fine. Like, the Buccaneers will fall farther.
Yeah.
But for now, we'll hold. And the Colts, I think the Colts and Seahawks are going to be my 2 little, like, fun, let's ride this train kind of teams, and always try to get in front of a TV while they're playing. Because I like the way that both those teams are playing football, and I think they're playing very similar football to each other.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they're fun. They're gonna win games that people probably would have thought they wouldn't have, like when the season started.
Yeah. And I think if I still got the Rams winning the West, I still like the Rams to be the best team out there. But if you were going to tell me they weren't going to win the West, a lot of people are going to think it's the 40. I think the Seahawks would be the team that would challenge them. I think the Seahawks, when all the rising and the falling happens, I think the Seahawks are ahead of the 49ers. Even though my preseason prediction, I had the 49ers in. I had the Seahawks just out. I think with the injuries that have taken place and the 49ers just generally being not likable, I'd rather see the Seahawks in than the 49ers anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I have questions real quick for
okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, hold on. So who are the Steelers here? Sean, the only one had the Steelers here? No, and Mike too. So is the Mike Sean question. 3-1, not impressive though.
And that's why I said it's reluctant. I don't. While you were on the phone, James and I were having a conversation about just this exact thing.
Okay.
It's one of those where it's like I have them in. It's not by default. But I just kind of felt like I had the Ravens real low, I have the Browns real low, and we're not really sure where the Bengals fall. And I just kind of was like, I'm going to get them on my list now because if they start winning games, I'll look really smart.
Basically, they'll find their way out at some point.
I hope they just fall out and the bottom falls out. That's what I want to happen.
Well, right, but I do think that the Steelers, they have room to get better.
Could the AFC North become the worst division in football?
Oh, isn't that crazy? Well, that's by default because of injuries too. Also, but here's the thing.
What an amazing thing!
Yeah, for real. But
I'm very excited for this.
But there's also room for the Steelers to get better too. Also, like, could Rodgers play better? Yeah. Could the Demons get better? Yeah. So if those things do play out, and that's
I don't think Rodgers can play better than he's playing right now.
I don't know.
I feel like
I actually agree. I think he's at the peak of whatever 49-year-old.
And I think he's very aware because he's not throwing the deep stuff. He's like he's letting DK Metcalf do things on he's
right. That 80-yard touch,
and that's it.
That 80-yard touchdown pass was a 13-yard screen that DK Metcalf just did his thing.
Sorry, I'm less concerned about Rodgers and more concerned about the defense.
Well, the defense is giving up more points than they're supposed to.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's a concern of the defense. So, but yeah, I feel a little too high, and that's
no. One of the best coaches of all time. It's fine.
The Seahawks. Can I?
Everybody keep believing.
You three all had Seahawks here. I almost pulled the trigger on that one. I almost did.
Also, just talked about them, but they're I was just talking. I'm super high on the Seahawks, and if I had my druthers, I would have bumped the Buccaneers and the Colts down and probably put the Seahawks at 5.
Can I have a hot take? Can I have a hot take, Jim?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got hot take button.
It's going to be the same take I just made. Go.
I got the button. Go ahead.
Sam Darnold might be a top 12% quarterback in the league right now.
Oh.
Okay, it was not my take, and I take it all back.
Oh, boy. Wow, you just keep doing it.
Bro,
the funniest thing would have been if you...
That was a heck of an effort.
Sam Darnold is the new Kirk Cousins, dude.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my.
Can you just hit the boom? Right. I feel like that would have been super.
That was a heck of an effort.
Dude, I hate to say it, though, bro. Sam, look.
You should hate to say it. That's your brain telling you this is a terrible idea.
We have the Minnesota year of a sample. We have
Cocaine's
the
a hell
first
of a
4 games
drug.
here. Is he going to win you a playoff game and whatever? No. Can he get you to the playoffs with a decent team around him? Yes. And it seems like where Seattle's going right now, that could happen. San Fran is not right now. I might take Seattle.
He not only rambled, but he rumbled and stumbled.
Even though San Fran beat him week 1, I do think that Seattle might be better than San Francisco right now. So if Seattle's in the playoffs,
I don't get brain very cold, but
hey, fuck you.
I mean, man.
I'm just saying Seattle, bro.
Look, I'll give you the self-awareness that you knew it was a hot take. I didn't think it was going to be that hot, but
he's
that thing's on fire, man. Like, and by on fire, I mean it's burning to the ground. Like, what are you doing?
No one
that's your IQ, buddy. 0.
There are many teams right now that can use a Sam Darnold. Right now.
Well, yeah, because their quarterback that's better than Sam Darnold is dead. That's the teams that could use
if I'm Cincy right now, well,
and I hope you're right because I traded Joe Burrow in a dynasty league in a deal to get Bijan Robinson, and part of that return was Sam Darnold. So if Sam Darnold ends up a top 12 quarterback over the next even 2 years, and Burrow's hurt for half of that, I look like a freaking genius. So I will allow that to happen.
I would love for you to actually write out the 11 quarterbacks that are better than Darnold and like the 3 quarterbacks just behind. I'd love to see you actually put the list
where he falls.
Take out Burrow. He's out for 3 months rather. Take out Burrow.
Oh, you're saying a top 12 quarterback with half the quarterbacks out.
Let me go to my list real quick though. Well, yeah, you have to include that. I'm going to include that.
I'm not saying do it right now. I'm just saying I would like to see you actually.
We'd like by next week.
Send it to our chat.
Send it in our chat.
But like,
now,
but that'd be like saying like, hey,
I can sell this, but Jim, I can sell this right now. I have my list.
We don't have that kind of time.
Vanderbilt's the number 1 team in the country. If you take away the 15 best teams in the country,
my top 10 guys. Right now, look at my top 10. There are 2 guys that me I'll take out the list right now that were there before. Burrow's out right now because of injury, and C.J. Stroud's gone.
Well, I mean, you also had C.J. Stroud too high, but
yes, that's what I'm saying. So there's
which I tried to tell you about that before.
Dan's literally dying right now.
Yeah,
I said 12, right? I said 12,
all he could muster was an LOL.
I did say 12, right? I said top 12, right?
You did.
Okay.
Again, do the homework.
Number 12.
Do the homework. Give us your top 15. Write them out.
This year.
Send them into the chat.
This year, right? Okay.
You said right now. Make the list. Send it to our chat. We can discuss it there. Maybe Maybe we'll talk about it next week.
He's the host, EJ.
No. I'm asking a question though. Are we talking about this on the show next week, or just doing it on a side thing?
I'll decide, but maybe we can fit it in.
No, because if he shits the bet against Tampa Bay this week, then I can't defend it.
No, you have to. You have to send us the list before week 5 starts. Because you said right.
Send us that list this.
Because you said right now. You said right now.
Right now, he's a top 12.
I'm going based on this year and pretty much last year too. Also,
your words were Sam Darnold is right now the 12th best quarterback in the NFL.
It's possible. Now, if you make your list and you're like, "Sorry, I was wrong. He's 13," I'll allow you to do that.
Yeah, cool. It's that plus minus of 1 area.
But you can't be like, "Okay, I was wrong. He's actually 21."
Right. Like, make the list. Give us the top 15, and I want to see where you put Sam.
I want to see where he's at. I think it's a good play, and we can talk about it later. But I think it's going to come down to like my 8th graders being like, "What do you mean Baker Mayfield's not a top 10 quarterback?" I said, "Well, that means there's 10 better quarterbacks." That's what that means. I know the math is hard.
We know what number 1 is right now. So
anyway.
All right, let's.
Daniel Jones.
Any other questions here? No, that's it.
We're gonna close up the power rankings for the week. We're gonna move on to how we close up the show each and every week.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right, we look at the upcoming weekend and one thing that will happen this upcoming weekend. EJ, let's start with you.
Well, since I'm my little project here, I think Seattle will dominate Tampa Bay at home this week and win the game. We didn't cover this game today on the show, but who would have thought Tampa and Seattle probably game of the week 5.
Huge game, big game,
huge game.
Also, one of the best uniform matchups we're going to get all year because it's the Seahawks throwbacks versus the creamsicle whites.
Really?
So
that's
excited.
Embrace the shit out of this game, everyone.
Oh, I'll be watching that.
But that's going to be.
That's on every TV down here. Anywhere I go, that's on. So
yeah, there you go. Sean's in a lucky spot. All right, Sean, what will happen this weekend?
This is an ugly weekend to make predictions for me. The true prediction, the true lock it up, is that EJ will have a real hard time making that list work.
I already am right now. I'm working right now.
Yeah, see?
I have to go 14 probably, buddy.
Next week, it's just going to be Lou Holt.
I don't get a brain van. Come.
All right, so I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to
actually. This is going to be EJ. This is going to be EJ next week.
Probably go to the hospital.
What was that?
I'm going to take my lesser of two.
Hold on, Sean. This is Sean. Hold on, Sean. This is going to be EJ next week.
Probably go to the hospital.
I'm going to have a Cuban cigar. Probably go to the hospital.
Go to the hospital.
It's a great sound bit.
It is.
It's one of those. It's a great one. So I have two. My long shot that I'm not going to lock in is that Dylan Gabriel wins his first start against the Minnesota Vikings. It's a near lock. My lock of the week, though, is that the Kansas City Chiefs train falls short and the Jacksonville Jaguars make them look silly in Jacksonville on Monday Night Football. And the Jaguars take that. The Jaguars not only cover the 3.5.
If that happens, EJ moves them to 8 in his.
And the Jaguars beat Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Well, he'll keep them in because they lost to a team in his top. Didn't you have them?
But they lost to a team that everyone else likes. So
Jim knows the Chiefs.
That's my luck.
Yeah, he's like everybody else. Everybody else said they're good, so they're good.
Who do you trust science by this?
If you'd have told me, I would ever imagine 3 years ago. You're like, your lock it up is that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
I'd be like, well, I'm just going to quit doing this
on Monday Night Football.
I'm just done. Yeah. I'm going to walk away. This is a terrible career choice.
All right, mine. I made a similar one last week, and it didn't work out. It got close in like multiple ways, but it didn't work out. So I'm just going to double down. And I'm going to go back to it.
There you go.
And I'm going to get even stricter with it. So there are 5 games featuring a AP top 10 opponent playing an unranked team. You have number 9 Texas traveling to the Florida Gators. You have number 7 Penn State traveling out west to UCLA. Number 6 Texas A&M hosts Mississippi State. Or no, was that this past? That was this past week. Did I have that game wrong? Oh no, Mississippi State had played, or do I have that wrong? Let me pull that up real quick. Maybe I had the wrong game. Oklahoma hosts Kent State, and number 1 Ohio State hosts Texas, or hosts Minnesota. Excuse me. I'm trying.
Sure, it would be fun if it was that one.
I'm trying to do that. That would be wild.
Rumbling.
Oh yeah, no. Texas A&M barely beat Auburn, so yeah, it is. They do have Mississippi State this week. So 5 top 10 teams hosting or playing against an unranked team, and one of them, at least, but one of them will lose to an unranked team. So
lock it up.
All right. I got close last week. We'll see if
my of the 5, the one I think is most likely, weirdly, is Texas losing to Florida.
I feel like that's the most likely one.
Like that feels like one where Florida needs to salvage this thing somehow.
Yeah.
And Texas just stinks compared to what we thought they were going to
be.
I don't think Florida's that bad. I think Lagway's been fucking terrible.
Yeah, look, I tell you what, I know we talked about the one game doesn't cost a guy a career, but if Penn State goes out to the Rose Bowl and lose to UCLA, like back-to-back losses, and the UCLA is bad. It's going to get real loud.
You have the one team that was so good they left the Pac-12, and the other team that has no choice but to stay.
Right. Yeah. So look, Kent State, obviously not a good team. Oklahoma, I think, his first game without Mateer, the quarterback. So they're going to be a different team. That one would be wild as well, especially in Oklahoma. But all right, that's where we're going to close up the book for this week. Sean, let them know where they can follow you.
Well, besides in front of the TV watching all the Philly sports doing well, I'm going to be on the Twitter. We're going to be there at Sean Shine State. We're going to be probably posting some funny photos. I'll probably make my own top 15 quarterback list to just throw it up there on the Twitter. If you'd like to go on there and check it out, give me a like, give me a follow, give me whatever. But otherwise, don't follow me. Follow the Eagles, follow the Phillies, follow their opponents, and root against the Dodgers.
There you go. EJ, let them know where they can folloh you.
Yeah, we're working on this list. It's getting tough.
Yeah.
But you can follow me on X at EJChristian7 on Twitter, let's call it. Earthquake Podcast. We're putting out content every day, Monday to Friday now. It's been really, really fun doing that. On YouTube at Earthquake Podcast, Earthquake Pod, TikTok as well too. By the way, there was a segment of my show last week I did with my friend Steve Borstein. I pulled out a segment about Juan Soto. That shit went fucking viral. 15,000 views already.
Yo, nice.
That's crazy.
That's always nice when you get one that just catches a heater.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? Out of nowhere, bro. Like,
you get the right person to share it one time, just
right. It's going nuts, and people are pissed off about like what I'm saying. What he's saying with somebody else because he was calling him a cancer and all this shit. He don't give a fuck, bro. So yeah, but yeah, that went nuts on there. So yeah. Follow me on all those places, and great shows always, guys. I had a good time. Yeah,
the only reason I'm saying to you to do the list, I used to work with a guy who anytime that like he talked about a player that was like getting hot or was having like a good year, he would always say either top 3 or top 5. And I'm like, my guy, there's literally only 3 people that can be in the top 3, right? And like and because I would call him out on it, then he would stumble. So I that's why I called you out.
So when I do the list, though, I'm right now. I'm doing it based on this year alone. I'm doing it based on, what I may do.
You said right now, so
right, you said right now.
I may do a tier system actually for this. So look out for that. I may make.
I expect tiers, all right.
Yeah. But I want to see. I want to see 1 through 15. I don't want to see. Here's your top 4. Here's your next 3. Here's your next 5. I want to see 1 through 15.
You want in order? What is 15?
Yeah, in order. If you're saying Sam Darnold's a number 12 quarterback, you better fucking put him in order.
He's maybe 13 instead.
Oh, see? You're already catching that waiver. I knew it. I knew it.
If you're going to be a bitch about it, listen.
Hey, guess what?
I'll let you. I don't care if you throw the number 12 in front of Sam Darnold and just loosely, without an order, tell me the 11 that are better. But guarantee me the rest are behind him. I'll let that happen.
No, I want 1 through 11.
Jim's the host. I was going to let that happen.
I want a list.
You should clip this shit for you, Jim. Because if you put a Sam Darnold top whatever all time on TikTok, I guarantee you get a lot of engagement on this shit. So this is the same.
I want to see.
I want him to think we have
liars. How many out, brother? I
don't think we want him to think we have liars.
People. Well, I'm not lying about it. He's, to me at this point, through 4 games, he's the top 15 quarterback in the league.
All right.
So
put your list where your mouth is. That's all we're asking.
I'm working on it as we speak.
There we go. You can find me at Big Jim Sports. That is on Twitter, Blue Sky. You can, but most importantly, just follow the show. We are at Huddle Up Podcast on Facebook, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Twitter. You can get us on Instagram at Huddle Up Podcast Inc. Again, you can follow the show all year on YouTube. We do have not only the live show, we have clips, we have shorts that go on there on TikTok as well. You can grab our merchandise over on the TeePublic store. Until next week, stay safe, stay smart, and as always, go for the win.